Welcome back to God is Alive. My name is Serena, and here I speak all about what it truly means to have a personal relationship with God. We have faith every day that we'll wake up tomorrow, so I want to start a fire in your heart to stop chasing the temporary things of this world and to put that same faith in God. So let's learn about God and learn to lean on God, because what's the worst that could happen? Hi, my loves. Welcome back to God is Alive. My name is Serena, and today I'll be speaking about going to God in confidence. It's so easy to feel unworthy or distant from God at times, but the truth is, we have every reason to approach Him with boldness and assurance. And this confidence, it comes from understanding that our relationship with God is based on what Jesus has done on the cross, nothing we've done. Realizing that honestly can transform how we see ourselves in relation to God. Understanding that we are truly made righteous through Christ, not by our own works. Romans chapter 3 verses 23 through 24. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and all are justified freely by His grace through the redemption that came by Jesus Christ. Even though we have all sinned, we are made right with God through Jesus. That alone should give us the boldness to approach Him despite what we've done, despite our flaws. And it's essential to remember that even if we feel unworthy, it's a feeling. And that feeling, although it can be a barrier to God, we should remind ourselves of His grace when we feel unworthy enough to go to Him. It's freeing to know that our worth and the way He views us is not determined by our actions, but by His sacrifice. That is the heart of the gospel. Romans chapter 3 verse 28, for we maintain that a person is justified by faith apart from the works of the law. It's through faith in Jesus' sacrifice that we can boldly go to God. And it's hard to accept His grace, to truly understand His grace, that He honestly loves us like a child when we love His Son. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 16, let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. We are encouraged even to approach God's throne confidently, knowing that we receive mercy and grace from God, not condemnation and not judgment. Because when we have Jesus, we are made righteous, and we can go to God in confidence. So even if we feel doubt creeping in, remember that God sees you where you are. And His new covenant with Jesus promises us forgiveness. And we can have a true relationship with God. So we should be going to Him. We should be going to Him often. He wants us to. He promised us that He was going to make a covenant with us in Jeremiah chapter 31, verses 33 through 34, long before Jesus, 600 years before Jesus actually, God tells Jeremiah about this new covenant. He says, this is the new covenant I will make with the people of Israel. After that time, declares the Lord, I will put my law in their minds, and I will write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. For I will forgive their wickedness and remember their sins no more. He has a desire to have a personal relationship with us, and the only way He can do that is to wipe us clean, make us clean. And the way He did that is through Jesus' sacrifice. So don't you know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit lives in you? That's 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16. We are God's temple now. He dwells within us. He doesn't dwell in a temple anymore like he used to back in the Old Testament, because he dwells within us. Matthew chapter 26, verse 28. This is the blood of my covenant, Jesus says, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. It's Jesus' blood. It is when he died on the cross that the new covenant poured out. Hey, so sorry to interrupt my own podcast. This is not an ad or a sponsorship. I just wanted to say, if you support this podcast, then please, let's build an online community together and head on over to Serena Speaks Podcast on Instagram and just start making friends in the comment section and fostering relationships. Or you can even message me any questions or concerns you may have now before it's filled up. So thank you for hearing me out, and I'll let you go back to the podcast now. It's through Jesus' blood that we are forgiven, and we can go to God with the assurance that we are now his children, that we are adopted into sonship through Christ. And that is his death that brought about a new covenant that allows us to have a personal relationship with the one who made everyone we know in the entire universe as we know it. It's amazing. And when we truly have faith in Jesus, we fulfill the new covenant. Romans chapter 3, verse 31. Do we then nullify the law by this faith? Not at all. Rather, we uphold the law. Because we are justified by faith. We are righteous through faith. We are made clean through faith. So it's only when we have faith do we truly uphold the law. And it's an internal faith that brings about eternal transformation. Because when you believe in him and you find out about him, it's the first step. Then God calls us to draw near to him and to know him personally because he desires an intimate relationship with us. He draws us close to himself and we can confidently seek him. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 21. God tells Jeremiah, their leader will be one of their own. He will arise from among them and I will bring him near and he will be close to me. So, God knew Jesus, our leader, our king, our prince, the one whose blood brought about the new covenant. He knew that he was going to be a human, one from among us, and that he was going to be close to God. Jesus was very close to God. He was God. There are three in one God. But also when we believe in Jesus, we receive that Holy Spirit, which allows us to also be near to God the same way Jesus was. We might not be as near because we will never truly be Jesus, but we can be like Jesus. And we are called to grow closer and be more like Jesus. James chapter 4, verse 8, come near to God and he will come near to you. He meets us when we approach him, and he's always willing to respond to us when we seek him with a truly sincere heart. So how can we draw more to God this week? What are some ways that we can call on him more and bring him into our hearts and our situations more? Because Psalm chapter 145, verse 18 reminds us, the Lord is near to all who call on him. To all who call on him in truth. He is near all of those who seek him earnestly, and because Jesus paid our price, now and forever, we can know our Creator, because he wants us to know him. So whether we go to him because we're in joy, or we're in pain, or we're in need, we are always welcomed into his presence with love. So the next time you can, approach him boldly. Trust that he hears you and He will help you in whatever situation we find ourselves in. I truly hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Today's song of the day is Fear is a Liar by Zach Williams. Let it remind you that in every situation, we can trust God and approach Him with confidence. So as always, I will talk to you again next time. Bye! So now you know more about me, but I want to get to know you too. So if you want, feel free to head on over to Instagram and message me at Serena Speaks Podcast with questions or just anything. Also, I plan to create a website soon to foster a community here and to provide resources just for you. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next time. Mwah.